Hey everyone, Andrew, Day 2 Dryden, recording here for Nikachu MTG, and today we are playing Burn in Legacy. Sorry. Oh, I'm getting nervous. I'm so excited. Right, we're playing Burn in Legacy. If this is the kind of content you enjoy, please make sure to like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. It's something new for this part of the channel. We haven't done Legacy before. I've done Pauper once or maybe twice. We mostly do Modern, but I put a Twitter poll out like last week, and it was remarkably in favor of Legacy, so here we go. Also, this is going to be coming out on December 24th, I believe, 2018. Tomorrow, on December 25th, we're going to do Modern, and then on Boxing Day, depending on how this league goes, we're going to do Legacy again. So you're going to have lots of holiday viewing. Make sure to stay tuned. If you got any downtime, you're trying to digest all the turkey, make sure to come back and check out the channel. We're going to have lots to talk about and show you. So I'm going to do this first bit in a couple different stages because I haven't done Legacy before. So I'm going to talk about this list, which is a list I've run for quite a while. Well, I used to run quite a while ago. I'm going to talk about the new list I'm going to be running today, and then I'm going to give some of my thoughts on Legacy as a whole. So I'm going to mention which parts I'm at, and then we're going to play some games. So if you want to learn about, if you don't really care about the card choices here too much, or you know what all these cards do, you can skip ahead. If you don't really care what my thoughts are on Legacy as a whole, and Burn's place in it, you can skip ahead to the games. Hopefully you watch the games. Hopefully you find it interesting, but that's what we're going to do. So first part, we're going to look at this list. I used to play Legacy quite a bit about 2 years ago. There were some Grand Prix trials, which don't even exist anymore, leading up to Grand Prix Las Vegas. I believe that was in 2016. And so I was playing a fair amount of Legacy because we had a lot of local Legacy Grand Prix trials, even though the Legacy scene in the city I live in isn't really huge. It's a bit expensive for, I guess, the player base here, and Modern is also really, really popular as it is, so it takes up a lot of people's time and budgets and stuff. So this is the list I was running then, except instead of Leyline of the Voids, I had usually 3 or 4 Fairy Macabre, and I think I was running Ensnaring Bridge at the time as well. So slightly different, but sort of similar Graveyard Hate kind of stuff. But this is the overall build I was working with. A few things about it. We had 19 basic lands or 20 basic lands, whichever. Wasn't running fetch lands because I wasn't using Grim Lavamancer, and because the local meta here had a lot of other burn decks. So if you were running, say, something like Flame Rift, in addition to fetch lands, that 1 or 2 points of life, even if you're on the draw, or even if you're on the play, can be what loses you that game. So without Grim Lavamancer in Legacy, you don't really need fetch lands in Burn. In my opinion, you don't really need them at all, actually. Some people run Searing Blazes and things, and obviously that helps, but Searing Blood is usually good enough in Legacy, just with the way the creatures are, right? The creatures are usually like Monastery Mentor, Snapcaster Mage, or something that like you can't even kill this Searing Blaze anyway, like a Grizzlebrand and stuff. So that's the reason for the basics, and why a Flame Rift was also, I didn't mind running Flame Rifts. So let's go through some of the cards here. In addition to our usual Modern suspects, right, we've got Goblin Guide, Swift Spear, Eidolon is really, really strong. We have Lava Spike, Lightning Bolt. We now have another 1-mana Bolt. It's a sorcery, unfortunately, and it's possible for your opponent to shoot one back at you, but Chain Lightning is a great addition. It makes those 1-2 mana hands run so much more smoothly than, say, the ones where you need to cast 2 mana and tap out for like a Boros Charm, or a Skullcrack, or a Lightning Helix, or something like that. Just the mana runs really smoothly. It makes turn 3 kills so much more consistent and so much more likely, especially when you've got a free spell here at the end that we're going to talk about. So that's a really nice addition. Basically a Lightning Bolt for the most part, at sorcery speed, in addition to the other part at the end here. Some lists cut Swift Spears. I still like them. It's still good for racing and getting those turn 3 wins. Flame Rift. Flame Rift is a really strong card as well. Basically, the way you want to look at it, and it's a bit of an exaggeration, but if both decks start at like 1 life, it favors the burn deck, right? Because you just land, bolt, I win. Well, unless you get like Force of Will. Oh no, you couldn't even get Force of Will because they would have to pay 1 life to counter the spell. But basically, this is a card that I don't love, but it's really good at helping race the combo decks. It's 4 damage to you as well, but it's 4 damage for 2 mana. We're not running plateaus and things like that, so it's I guess Boros Charm would be better in this situation if we were running fetch lands and plateaus and white cards, but we're not. It's just mono red. So it's a good way to help speed up the rate the game ends, which against basically any deck, that's where you want to be. Price of Progress is probably the strongest card that isn't modern legal. Yeah, you can make an argument for Fire Blast, I guess. But Price of Progress is just amazing in some of these decks, against some of these decks. You know, something like Eldrazi, or lands, or even some of the control decks, right? If they're fetching out bayous and underground seas and things like that. Well, guess what? 2 mana, bam, you can deal sometimes between 4 to 8 damage for 2 mana at instant speed. It's unbelievable. Sometimes it's real bad. Against the mirror match, it's horrible. Against Merfolk, it's horrible. Well, actually, that's not always true. They could have Cavern of Souls and things like that out, but usually it's pretty horrible. Eidolon, great against, you know, Storm and things like that, like always. Rift Bolt, right? Just another one of our bolts. We can get it out of our hand for 1 mana, get those fast kills going. Sulfuric Vortex is a great card against control, and it's really good. It's really good if you can just go on the play, go like 1 drop, 2 drop, slam this down. It forces them to deal with it, or else, you know, your clock is basically what's going to determine how long the game lasts. And in addition to that, you play it, they take the 2 damage first. So it's also nice that way. It does deal damage to you as well, but you take it after they do. So it's a little bit helpful there. And sometimes you can even just untap, the Sulfuric Vortex trigger goes on the stack, and just bolt them to death before, you know, maybe you would take lethal damage, right? There's a lot of things like that you can do. Sulfuric Vortex is a great card. It's, well, here, I'll get to that in a second. And last but not least, Fire Blast. Effectively a free spell, right? At the top of your curve, you go bolt, 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 sack 2 mana, fire, or sack 2 mountains, Fire Blast you. It's outstanding. 4 damage, instant speed, any target. This is basically what allows the deck to compete at maybe the lower end of the tier 1, the topper end of the tier 2, if you had to classify things. It's what helps facilitate those turn 3 kills. It's a little frustrating when you draw multiples, but drawing like even one of these it helps your win rate so much. Over to the sideboard. You know what? I'm not going to talk about the sideboard because this is the list I'm not going to use. What I will say quickly though is that this is a card, Smash to Smithereens, that I've used in the past, and it was mandatory in my local meta. There were Eldrazi decks. There was a certain Merfolk player who's in my local meta, and a bunch of other. And Burn was a known deck. You knew that if there was 8 or 10 people at a Legacy tournament, you're probably going to run into at least 4 Burn decks. So for that reason, there was a lot of Chalice of the Voids floating around. You needed answers to Chalice of the Void. And back then, there was a little card called Sensei's Divining Top, which also you needed an answer for. So this was basically an automatic, mandatory 4 of. I've played a couple leagues now since with it, and I've looked at some other lists, and it isn't really in a lot of sideboards right now, at least right now. And I think that's largely because those decks that were expecting me and that I was going to be expected to play against, those weren't really happening as much. Those aren't happening as much online. The percentages are a bit lower. So this card ends up being almost a dead slot most of the time in the sideboard, and you need your sideboard slots in Legacy, possibly even more so than you do in Modern. So let's look at the list I am going to run. So it's almost the same thing. In fact, I think the 60, the opening 60 is the same. Yeah, it is. So the big change here is in the sideboard. So So we cut those smashed to smithereens. Sorry, getting... Oh, that's better. We cut the smashed to smithereens. We added another piece of Graveyard Hate, a second Fairy Macabre. Still have the Leyline of the Voids. We've got Pyroblasts for basically all of the control decks and some of the combo decks that exist. You know, this can obviously counter things like Force of Will, Hydroblasts, True Name Nemesis, unless it's, you know, uncounterable. What's the Show and Tell, that's a big one, right? Things like that, right? So blue, when people talk about blue being the strongest color in Magic, if you've only ever played Modern Magic, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, it's good, but whatever. No, in Legacy and in Vintage, this is where you really truly see the power of Force of Will, the power of Brainstorm, Ponder, all these cards, right? They're very powerful cards, and blue is it's bad. One of the sideboard cards I'll talk about in a minute that you could use in those matchups as well is Exquisite Firecraft, but I prefer to have this, I think. So, mostly because of things like Show and Tell. Searing Blood. This is still great. Any of the small creature decks, right? You can kill a Delver, you can kill a Baleful Strix, a Thalia, any of the Death and Taxes creatures, right? This is still a really, really strong card against all the small creature matchups, just like it is in Modern. Got a second Sulfuric Vortex, because when it's good, it's really good. Stopping life gain against things like Maverick, against Reanimator even, right? This is really slow to be against Reanimator, but, you know, if you can get it out and you're on the play and then they can't gain life off their Grizzlebrand, that might be the way they're going to win. It might give you that extra turn in which you can win the game in. And then we've got Ensnaring Bridge. This is basically, again, against, you know, Reanimator and things like that, Show and Tell. You know, when they put an Emrakul into play and you put in an Eidolon, well, guess what? You're losing that, right? It's just not going to work. You need an answer for those, if you want to hedge against those decks. So I probably wouldn't bring this in against the small creature matchups because we're already so favored against those. This is more for the big, busted creature matchups like Reanimator and stuff like that. And then some sideboard cards I didn't add. So again, Reanimator and graveyard decks, busted graveyard decks like that are really what we struggle against. I'll talk a bit about why that is when I talk about the Legacy format as a whole in just a minute. But if you wanted a different set of cards than, say, like Leyline of the Void or Fairy Macabre, you could go with something like Tormod's Crypt. If you did want to sort of hedge more against small creature decks, you could run Lavamancers and Fetch Lands. Shard Volley is another card you could run. Already having enough low-cost cards and wanting to sacrifice mountains for Fire Blasts. I don't love this card, but there was one time in a local tournament where I knew there was going to be an Infect or two player show up. I really wanted more 1-mana instant speed answers to Infect creatures, because even with the addition of Chain Lightnings, you know, our instant speed answers aren't great, right? We've got Fire Blast, which we don't really want to be doing unless it's the last card, you know, that we're using to finish our opponent off, or Lightning Bolt, or like that's it, right? Like Price of Progress is an instant, but it doesn't deal with creatures, right? Chain Lightning's really good, but it's not instant speed. So yeah, so there have been times when I've run an extra copy or two of Shard Volley, but it's not something I love. I mentioned earlier about Smash to Smithereens because of things like Chalice of the Void, and before with Sensei's Divining Top, and then Exquisite Firecraft. Again, if you didn't know what these cards did, I wanted to show them to you. This is a really strong card, especially when you don't have Grim Lavamancer eating your own graveyard. Really strong against control, right? Really great way to finish them off. You know, they go, maybe you go Bolt, you know, Fire Blast, Exquisite Firecraft, you know, untap Exquisite Firecraft. That can be part of it. A lot of the times, maybe the control player might hold off on their counter spells until they really have to use them. And if this is the last spell you're casting, they might expect it to be like another bolt or two or something like that. And when if it's this, then their counterspells won't work. So these are some other cards you could run here. Yeah, there's a lot of options. Legacy, there's a lot more options available in your card pool. But so I've talked about all these. Okay, so Legacy as a whole, in regards to burn, there's a few things about Legacy if you haven't played it before. So this is gonna be like the second issue, or the second. I had a list here, did I not? I thought I made a list. Hold on. No. Okay, well here I tweeted out a big list of things the other day that I thought. The biggest thing about Legacy to keep in mind is that there's a lot of modern matchups. I think at their extreme end they might be like 70-30 matchups, right? Like, you're not favored, but it's not horrible. In Legacy, there are a lot more instances of like 90-10 matchups. There's a lot more of those. And so that's kind of how I have built this sideboard. Things like Reanimator, things like Show and Tell, those combo decks, excuse me, those are really hard to beat. It's just the way it goes. So the reason for that is because burn is really good at having redundancy, right? Like whether it's Chain Lightning or Lava Spike or Lightning Bolt, you're hitting him in the face, it's 1 mana, it's 3 damage. That's kind of just how it goes, right? So cards like Force of Will and things that keep the format in check, or maybe even like Daze, which is something you can play around if it's not a fast deck that you're against, you can generally do well against control and sort of mid-range small creature decks, because your redundancy is going to just overpower them. Force of Will is a really good card at stopping like one big flashy spell, right? If they're going to go Reanimate, if they're going to go Show and Tell, if they're going to go Goblin Charbelcher, right? You're like, nope, pitch, Force, pitch whatever. Great, now you can't win. That doesn't really work against burn, right? You've got, okay, great, you Force of Willed my Lightning Bolt. You took 1 instead of 2, and you're down a card. I'm just going to bolt you again, right? Like my deck's still going to churn out. The downside with that is that burn lacks speed and answers like Force of Will to deal with those same really busted decks. Goblin Charbelcher is basically a deck you can't beat, because you have no answer to it. You're going to win consistently by turn 3, but by sacrificing all of their stability into like one really strong attack, they're going to win on like turn 1 or turn 2 more likely, right? Same with Reanimator, same with maybe Show and Tell. Show and Tell could be a little bit longer, but I mean, they can go like Lotus Petal, Island, Show and Tell, Emrakul, or Omniscience, like it's just insane, right? So, and you can't compete with that. You don't have Force of Will. You don't have these cards. You can't beat that. So don't try to. Well, I shouldn't say that because I am trying to. Don't expect to beat those. That's where you want your sideboard cards to be. So another thing to keep in mind is that even a single life point is huge. There were a bunch of games the other day where my opponent was at 5 life, had a Fire Blast in hand, and I couldn't win, and then they comboed off and won, which is really unfortunate. But the opponent's not taking shockland damage really does make a big difference. Legacy feels more like you're basically closing your eyes and trying to swing a baseball bat as hard as you can, and you're either going to strike out real hard or you're going to hit a home run. Which means it's also frustrating because if you draw too many hate cards, like I lost a game the other day because I had 2 Leyline of the Voids, and if I'd only had drawn 1 of them, I would have had enough damage in my hand to push it through, but that 1 card made a difference, and then my opponent did end up comboing off and beating me. Whereas if I draw too many of my strong cards, like Fire Blast, they might just get stuck in my hand. I'm probably not going to be drawing 6 mountains over the course of a game. So if I draw like a 3rd copy of Fire Blast, okay, well I basically just missed my draw step. So it's really strange, right? You're taking big swings, and you're either going to connect and probably win, or you're going to miss and your opponent is going to just smack you around because they're going to swing and hit you back. So I would guess that most players online also, at least online. I would guess more of them are wanting to play things like Grizzlebrand and Elishnorn as opposed to things like Thalia and Delver Secrets, which is bad for burn. Just the way the deck is constructed. It's just bad for burn. It's just the way it is. But again, that's how that works out, right? It's those 90-10 matchups. It's just the way it is. But again, if you like that, then burn in Legacy might be a deck for you. I think that was basically all I wanted to say about Legacy and Hold. You'll see the games. We'll see how it goes, and you can make your own decisions. And I'm going to keep sort of updating my own opinion based on how the current Legacy meta is. But we'll see about that. And then, yeah, one more thing is just things like Chalice of the Void. With the decks that do see play and are out and about, I think I'm just going to have to accept that I'm probably going to lose to a Chalice of the Void if they cast one. It's very possible. So... but I've got cards for different matchups instead. So anyway, this is the list. Those are my thoughts on Legacy. Hope you enjoyed the deck tech. Hopefully we do well in these matchups, and then maybe we'll play another league for Boxing Day or December 26th. But this has been Andrew, Day 2 Dryden, talking about Burn and Legacy and Legacy as a whole, and I will see you in round 1. Okay, here we go. We are on the draw, unfortunately. This hand, I don't love the 4 lands, but we are going to curve out. We've got a strong, and again, this is okay if we draw things like Fire Blast and things like that. And we are only running 19 lands. I don't love this hand, but against an unknown opponent, it's possible this Eidolon could just run away with the game, and the Swift Spear is a pretty strong turn 1 play. So I'm going to keep this hand, but I'm not thrilled with it, if I'm going to be honest. So let's see. Okay, well, Mox Diamond. So here, I'll start showing these cards because people might not know what they do. So it's the end of the battlefield, discard a card. Basically, it's a Mox where you discard a card. Does it have to be a land card? You discard a land card to let you play a second land on the turn. Then they go Underground Sea and they put a Baleful Strix out. This card is a 1/1 flying Death Touch, and when it enters, you draw a card. So Price of Progress, pretty good draw. So I'm not really in love with just throwing the Swift Spear to its death. That actually really sucks. That actually is really unfortunate. But I don't know if there's any way to really get through it otherwise, because they're not gonna sit back. Oh man, that's so brutal. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. God. So what does this end up doing? This means we're just basically throwing away Swift Spear for nothing. Oh boy, yeah, having some way to kill this Baleful Strix and get in for 2 would be nice. You know what? That might end up happening, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm not just gonna throw this Swift Spear away for nothing. This is also one of those matchups where we can probably do pretty well. So this is probably what Bug or Grixis control probably. Okay, another mountain is not what we wanted to draw. I'm not really wanting to throw away an Eidolon. I think Eidolon is very strong. But I can't do nothing. So I'm either going to Price of Progress or Flame Rift. Yeah, I'll just Flame Rift. Sorcery speed. If they want to counter it, they can. It's still... Yeah, okay, that's fine. So yeah, that's something that we could have... a Daze would have been bad. Something like that would have been kind of bad and frustrating, but like, whatever. So they're smartly playing around Price of Progress here. Maybe they just don't need to. Tezzeret. Okay, I haven't seen this outside of Modern in a while, so this might not be Grixis. This is not Grixis controlling. I don't know what this is anymore. I gotta look it up. But so yeah, so they can make an artifact become a 5/5. They can drain us. That's really frustrating. Gaining life is obviously bad with a -4, and then they basically can +1 to basically Ancient Stirrings. Look at the top, I think 4 or 5 cards. Pick an artifact out of it. So they tapped out, which is nice. I'll say that, though. Yeah, that's nice. So, I mean, Daze could still be a bad thing, or Force of Will could still be a thing, but I mean, we've got some plays here. Yep. Oh, Baleful Strix is an artifact creature. I didn't realize that. Yeah, it is. Okay. So they got Sword of the Meek. This, like, Thopter combo? Is that a thing in Legacy? Oh, that's a good card. See? So now we're happy that we drew all these mountains. If we draw a second one, that'll be great, too. Because this Baleful Strix can become like a 5/5 now, I think I'm willing to trade it. Trade with it. Alright, how does this work? Whenever a 1/1... Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm willing to... I think I'm willing to trade this off. Ooh, oh yeah, I guess I could... Oh man, this is a tough choice. See, this is... again, I'm not super familiar with the format. No, we gotta kill them. So let's see if they block. I feel like Mox Diamond should count as a non-basic land. It's basically what it is. Yeah, that's fine, sure. We're going to have to get through it eventually, and we're just not drawing these things, so... Play Eidolon. Hopefully this ends up being a big deal. And I could actually even kill the Tezzeret right now. Oh, no, we need to kill them. They're at 15 life still. We just, as much as... that's a thing. I need this 4 damage from Fire Blast to go to their face, I think, right now. I'm pretty sure that's how it has to be. This is definitely a matchup where those Smash to Smithereens would have been nice. I was talking about how I didn't want them. Okay, they get a Mox Diamond. They're... playing a Chalice for 1. Well, luckily for us, I don't currently have anything in my hand for 1. So now we don't want to draw bolts and things anymore. That's how that works. Sword of the Meek. Yeah. That's fine. Keep taking damage. I'm okay with that. Okay, something that costs... Nice. Nice. Okay, so do we have this now? Okay, so if I price, kind of sucks, they only take 2, but they still take 2. So do I. Well, here, let's attack first, I guess. Let's do that. So if we attack them to 9, we price them to 7, and then they can't cast anything else. Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah. Once we play the other Eidolon. I want to do this before... They could have counter spells. Could have Daze. Daze is the only thing I'm playing around. Daze would be the only reason to not do this right now. What do I want to hit more, the Eidolon or the price? The... Eidolon. No, but then I take too much damage from my own price. Okay. Or from my own... whatever. Okay, so please don't have Daze. Okay. There we go. I mean, they can make something big and angry. 5/5 is nothing to sneeze at right now, but a 5/5 isn't going to do it, I don't think. Because they can't attack us. without leaving themselves vulnerable. The nice thing about Fire Blast too is it actually doesn't cost us life, right? Like its converted mana cost is 6, so it doesn't trigger Eidolons. There aren't any cards that do that in Modern that we play. So yeah. So we know they've got 1 dead Mox Diamond in their hand, because I don't think they're going to want to take 4 to play it. 4 mana is also a lot. I think that's fine. Maybe they're hoping that I've just got a hand full of lightning bolts and I can't cast them. That doesn't really make sense though, because I didn't cast it last turn with Chalice on the stack still. So yeah. Think we're in... I mean, this could go horribly wrong immediately in a number of different ways. Right? Like they could just Tezzeret -4, gain 4 life. Maybe what they're debating is whether they should play another artifact before they minus Tezzeret. No, gain 3 life. They'd gain 3 life. Go to 10. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, do that. Another sword. Sure. Sword ain't gonna help you right now. Wow, okay. Well, that's an unfortunate draw with the Chalice, but whatever. Okay. Yeah, might as well play this out, I guess. Oh, it's X is twice the number. Oh, that's brutal. I thought it was X equals whatever the number is. So they gain 6? No, in that case I have to try and kill them now. And I should have done this last turn. I didn't realize X was 2 times. So it doesn't really do anything, but we're going to float mana anyway. You never know why it might matter. Nice! Okay, we got it. Sweet. So we're in the winner's bracket. So again, we don't have those we don't have those Smash to Smithereens. That's unfortunate. So what would be good? Vortex is okay as a slower matchup. Pyroblast. Here, what's bad? What do we want to take out? Against decks with Chalice of the Void, I'd rather cut down on my 1-drops a little bit because it just makes it so backbreaking. So I'm willing to cut maybe... I guess Lava Spikes are the first ones to go, maybe. I do want a couple of Searing Bloods. It's good against those 1/1 Thopters. I want a couple Pyroblasts. So, like Tezzeret, for example, right? That can get countered by Pyroblast. So probably want at least 2 of those. But again, we've added a 1. I really don't want to just lose to Chalice of the Void. That would really suck. So maybe I'll even cut a Chain Lightning and add another Pyroblast. And I'll cut another Chain Lightning, and I'll add a Searing Blast. Okay, so hopefully that helps. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Again, I'm not a Legacy expert, at least anymore, and I don't have Smash Smithereens. Oh, man. I don't like that this hand has nothing to do on turn 1. That's really, really bad. But this hand, it definitely doesn't lose to Chalice of the Void. And they could just go turn 1 Chalice of the Void. I'm gonna... Oh, man, this is so... I'm gonna keep. They kept 7 cards. I'm gonna hedge against them having Chalice on 1. I think that's something they're gonna try and do. And I'm gonna get proven wrong and be really embarrassed. Wow. Okay. Wow. Well, maybe we'll win anyway, and I won't look like such a complete and utter fool. But now I'm thinking what's going to happen is I'm going to lose this game. I'm going to do the opposite with my hand in game 3, and I'm going to get totally shut out by a chalice. That's a good card. Let's throw this Flame Rift out. Sorcery speed, so whatever. Maybe playing the Eidolon was better, but I was kind of hoping they'd counter it and then have one less counter, and then I could land a Sulfuric Vortex or something. I pretty much... I can't see too many ways of me not playing the Sulfuric Vortex next turn. But we'll see. Oh, geez. I don't know what any of these cards do anymore. I've seen this before, though. Okay, create a blah, blah, blah. You may sack an artifact, destroy artifact or creature. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. All right, sure. So, wait. What is the second ability? It's not destroy an enchantment. Can't be. It's black and red. Artifact or creature. Okay. Sure. Oh, that's a pretty good card, too. So, I really want a Searing Blood. Okay, so hold on. What does this do? Sack an artifact and do what? Destroy target artifact or creature. It'd be really nice if I had 4 mana right now. I could Searing Blood and play the Eidolon. The Eidolon's looking really weak right now. No, I think we're just going to slam this Sulfuric Vortex. Yeah. That makes sense. They don't want that going anywhere. This is okay so far. We can beat this. Okay, Tezzeret. That makes things harder. They got a Mox Diamond. They didn't play it, which makes me think they don't have any land cards in their hand, which is frustrating because it means they're just pure gas. That's a good draw, though. That's really good. Yeah, okay. Because they've got those out right now. So that's 4 damage. They're at 9. I really want to leave up this Lightning Bolt if I can. I'm really annoyed if they go Chalice on... Well, even Chalice on 2 would be bad. Chalice on 1 would be the worst of the worst. So... Is there a way to count this up? Sorry, I'm not used to these cards totally. So we've got 4, we've got 8. I've got 8 damage. Puts them to 5. I think I play out this Eidolon. And then I hold this up, and then maybe next turn I Flame Rift. I think that's what I want to do. They might just sack one of these constructs to kill the Eidolon, which makes sense. Which also makes me think I should have played the Eidolon instead of the Flame Rift earlier. I think that was a mistake. Not necessarily the tightest play. Oh, okay. We're making another one of these. I don't want them to gain 6 life. So I need to bolt. I need to bolt Tezzeret. And they're probably going to have a counter for it, but if they don't, then we're going to be okay. I can't have them gain 6 life right now. Yeah, okay. This is fine. This is something I can still beat. I can't beat them gaining 6 life right now, and then just... Not only that, but me losing 6 life. That would be too much. Okay, there's Thopter Foundry. Non-artifact spells cost 1 more to cast. Yeah. That's a thing. Okay, that helps. That does help. That's a 5-3. Well, that lodestone golem is pretty obnoxious, I'm not gonna lie. So if they attack with this lodestone golem, I think I'm blocking with the Eidolon and trying to Searing Blood it. It's pretty weak to a counterspell. It kind of goes all in, but I mean, I can't know I'm gonna draw land next turn, and it's this lodestone golem is really shutting down my hand right now. Oh man, they got another one. That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. Yeah, I'll do this. Okay. I like that. I like how all that went down. I didn't like that. That's bad. I didn't think of that line. Ooh, that's pretty bad. Yeah, we're super dead here. That's too bad. If they hadn't done that, yeah, I could have maybe won. Okay. That's too bad. Yeah, I think not playing that Eidolon out as early as I could have was the big mistake. I still like how all this went, though. Could have looked at maybe the Fairy Macabre, but I think Dryden at -6 is... yeah, ah, man, that's really too bad. No! The Eidolon was the mistake. Yep, the Eidolon was the mistake. Yeah, that's where that... Oh, I've got 61 cards right now. Oh, well, too late. Yes. Man, okay, I know I wanted to up my curve, but this is bonkers. No, I can't do this. Come on, something playable. This is good. Bottom. This is good. Okay. Tezzeret. I'm not scared of no Tezzeret. I even have Pyroblast for it. What do you got? Ancient Tomb. That's fine. Take damage. Thopter Sword. Yeah. Okay. I like where this is going. Can't do anything about that. That's a good draw. Another Tezzeret. Well, that's not going to be very good. Yeah, I was debating getting this Flame Rift out of my hand, but no, I don't think so. I think I want to just hold up Bolt. Hold up Bolt and Pyroblast. Okay, Ancient Tomb. Oops. Clicked the wrong card. Do I want to get rid of this? Oh yeah, because this is how this combo works. Would have been nicer if they tapped out for the Tezzeret and I'd countered that, but you know, it is what it is. Well, this looks pretty good for our intrepid hero. Because I think I've got lethal 2 different ways. Oh, there's the chalice. I knew it was there. I knew you had it. Nice. All right. Woohoo. Okay, we are 1-0 in Legacy. Nice to see. Okay, so again, this is one of the decks that you should be able to beat in with Burn generally, right? It's not a busted combo deck. It's a combo deck, but it's more of a control combo deck, right? They're not casting a Grizzlebrand on turn 1. They're casting like a Tezzeret on turn 3 or something like that, right? Like that's something you can compete with. And they're turning a bunch of 1/1s into stuff, right? Like you can compete with that. So yeah, that's how that went. Awesome. Okay, 1-0. It's a Christmas miracle. Or whatever you celebrate. It's a December miracle. Andrew, day 2 Dryden, according for Nikachu MTG. See you in round 2. All right, here we go. This hand, here we go in round 2. This hand's fantastic. We got 2 lands. We got a bunch of low-cost cards. Our opponent mulliganed. We're on the draw, unfortunately. And again, this makes me nervous in Legacy. We might just get run over by who knows what. Charbelcher on turn 1 or something like that. So they went to 6 cards and put a card on top of their library. Urborg. Okay, I don't know what that means. Thoughtseize. I know what that means. It means they're taking our Goblin Guide, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that's what that means. So this could be Reanimator. This could be Mono Black Reanimator. Or even just regular Reanimator. If it is, we're in pretty big trouble. I don't like our odds in round 1. I guess the one nice thing is if it is Mono Black Reanimator, this Price of Progress actually does something with this Urborg. Normally they just play basic swamps and this Price of Progress looks real bad. But I don't think the 2 damage from the Price of Progress is going to be... I don't think that's going to be what makes the difference in this game. I think it's going to be whether or not they put a Grizzlebrand into play on turn 2 or 3. Or even on Iona. Iona is another one. This deck is really weak to that because obviously all of our cards are red. So they just go Iona, name red. Can't do anything. So it's kind of rough, but yeah. I think, again, I think this is a... It's unlikely that... Oh yeah, I can tap for black. It's unlikely we're going to live to be able to cast that Rift Bolt. So if it does make a... Oh, okay. No, okay, so maybe this is like Maverick? Or lands? So crop rotation. So they get to... So they sack a land, and they put... Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, so it's Dark Depths. Okay, that makes sense. And they go Vampire Hexmage... And they make a 20/20 indestructible. Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing. Oh, a card I didn't mention in the deck tech was Sudden Shock. We wouldn't have had enough on the play. We would have been okay there potentially. But yeah, that's game. That's going to be game, unfortunately. We need plateaus and we need deflecting palms. That's actually not the worst idea. Hypothetically, you could go like red-white burn in Legacy. Maybe that's something I should look into because like a deflecting palm here would be pretty good. Again, that's all, you know, post sideboard stuff, but yeah, this is gonna be something that we're gonna have trouble with. Yeah, there's no way to win here. I will see if they play anything else, just for the viewers. Maybe you want to learn more about these decks. What's likely going to happen is they're just going to play a land and attack me and kill me. They might not even play a land, but we'll see. And the Inquisition anyway, so yeah, the whatchamacallit wouldn't have even been good enough anyway. Sure, take price of progress. As if it matters. It does not. I like them apples. Alright. Okay. So, against this. You know what? Again, I'm not the biggest Legacy expert. So let me double check here. What are they? Is it Golgari Wastes? Is that what this deck is called? That's exactly what this deck is called. So they're gonna bring in probably nothing, right? None of these cards. Maybe Surgical. That, like, none of these cards seem like they do much here. Yeah. Yeah, none of these cards in the sideboard here seem especially... Yeah, like they're just gonna this is one of those combo decks that we have trouble beating. So I don't see anything really that we want here, especially, I mean, we want the Ensnaring Bridge, I guess. I don't think we want Sulfuric Vortex, especially if we're playing Bridge. This is okay, this is okay, this is okay. We gotta take out 2 cards. Rift Bolt's probably not great. We want to make sure cards don't get stuck in our hand. That's the one thing. So maybe we take out Flame Rift. Yeah, something like that. Like, this doesn't do anything. Yeah, something like that. Like, this just isn't a great matchup, and we just aren't really built to beat this deck. This hand's great. It's all we can really hope for. But if our opponent just combos off, that's going to be Legacy for you. Again, that's kind of how this works, right? You're kind of just swinging for the fences. So, see how this goes. Ooh. They've got a Sylvan Library on top. Okay. If you don't know what Sylvan Library does, it's very good. So at the beginning of your draw step, you may draw 2 additional cards. So they get to draw up to 3 cards. If they do, they can put 2 cards from their hand. Well, you can read the card. It's right there on the screen. Yeah, Thoughtseize. That happens. I have no effects. I'm guessing they take Fire Blast, because taking a Chain Lightning doesn't do much. It's kind of the same thing as anything else. But Fire Blast we can sort of cast for free. Depends what's in their hand and if they think they're going to be able to race and win here. Probably take the Fire Blast. Because, yeah, otherwise next turn, what do we have? We could even just go like double Chain Lightning, Fire Blast. That's what, 10 damage? Plus another 2 from the Goblin Guide? Okay. So they're at 16, so they're at 14. So they're at 4, effectively, if I just go Chain Lightning, Fire Blast. But hey, maybe that's good enough. Another Thoughtseize. Ugh. Well, I am definitely Going to Fire Blast them if they try to Thought Seize this Fire Blast out of my hand. That is 100% what's going to happen. So hold on, maybe on the play we'll be fast enough to squeak out a win here. Who knows? This might be fast enough. Yeah, and they're actually dead if they just Thought Seize and don't have an answer for this Goblin Guide and can't put anything on the board. Because they'll take 2 from the Thought Seize, they'll take 4 from the Fire Blast, and they'll take another 2 from the Goblin Guide. So I think we're in a good position here. They might just go Sylvan Library, and if they do, I think we're in pretty good shape. But who knows? Yeah, well, I'm not letting you take this. Which, again, shows you how this deck is pretty reliable. Hey, woo! All right, we're going to game 3. So we didn't learn much there, except that they kept their Thought Seizes in. We didn't learn much. Just, yeah, low-cost cards. That's what we want. We can't... I guess I could put a Rift Bolt back in. Instead of what, though? Because the fact that we were able to cast every single spell we drew is the reason that game went so well, right? Maybe price is a bit... Right, because sometimes they just, like... What's this deck's mana base look like? Lands, Bayou, Bloodstained Mire, Bajuka Bog, Dark Depths. Can't really count that because it's going to just do its thing. Steppe, Swamp. No, they've got a lot of... Well, they've got Wasteland, but hey, if they Wasteland themselves, that's fine. Go for it. No, we're going to leave the price. I think we just like this the way it is. Yeah, I mean, it's tough on the play, right? It's going to be tough on the play. We're going to have to be fast. We're going to hope that they have a slow draw. But... I like the number of lands. I like the Swift Spear and the Chain Lightning. That's a bit loose. This feels like it just lose. If I took one of these Eidolons out, I'd keep this hand. So I'm just gonna keep. But this is a couple more 2-drops than I want. Sure, yeah, Thoughtseize. Take the Swift Spear, I'm guessing. Maybe the Chain Lightning, depending what's in their hand. They might have a fast enough clock that they're just gonna... Yeah, who knows? Thoughtseizers are good, though. Like, if I had a Pithing Needle or something like that, right? Because I could cast Pithing Needle, say Vampire Hexmage. That would be... a way that I might try to fight them and win, and Thoughtseize would take it away. You don't really take the Eidolon here, right? Because you're not doing anything. I'm not going to... Like, the third Eidolon isn't going to make a difference versus the other 2. I very much... If I make... Oh, really? Okay, I like that. That makes me think I've got a chance to win here. Because if that third Eidolon's going to make the difference, that means they're not just going to win next turn. Yeah, that's absolutely what that makes me think. Maybe we're doing it. Maybe we're doing it. Well, we're not doing anything. There we go. Maybe they're just going to go next turn, like, double Thoughtseize me again. It's not the... Wouldn't be the worst. They go to 13. I'd smack them for 9 down to 4. If I drew a Fire Blast, I'd just win. But... Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's a thing. I don't know. Now I don't know what they take, because I was pretty sure Eidolon was not going to be what they took last turn. But if they, yeah, I was gonna say if they took Eidolon the first time, they kind of have to do it the next time, right? Maybe they miss a land drop? That seems unlikely. So if it just stays like this, I guess I play out the Eidolon next turn. Just attack for 1. It's not great, but that seems to be what they're afraid of, so I guess that's what I take. Or I guess that's what I play. I don't know. I'm pretty confused. If anyone is a Legacy expert, if anyone's a big Legacy aficionado in the viewers there, please put the comments below what you think, because I'm not sure. What? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. We're back. That was weird, though. Okay. So, I guess we drew an Ensnaring Bridge for the turn. So, yeah, that was weird. Are we... Yeah, okay, well, we want to cast this next turn. Yeah, okay. That was weird. Okay, so, yeah, we're going to land this Eidolon, and next turn we're going to have a chance to just win. I think. Right? Because they're going to go to 14. This Thespian stage is frightening. That's for sure, though. So they're going to go to 14. We've got the potential to deal like 11 damage, I think, with 2 damage from the Eidolon, 3 damage, right? So 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. So if they don't win next turn, I think we've got a good chance of winning. But turn 3 in Legacy, it's a bit of an ask. It's a bit of an ask. That being said, we drew our Ensnaring Bridge. If we draw a third land by turn 3, we're in a good spot there. So kill the Swiftspear. Fatal Push. Makes sense. Yeah. So we are now no longer in position to win next turn. However, if we draw a land, I think we're still in good shape. They now have the ability to cast we can kill that. So I would like either a land or an instant speed way to deal with this. That being said, I can't really just wait for instant speed, or I can't depend on it, because they can play a land. Oh wow, that's really good. Yeah, I can't attack it because it has first strike. So... Bam. Let's see if this is enough. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm thinking Assassin's Trophy might be what happens. Okay. Okay, their land drop for turn was not Dark Depths. So that's one piece of good news. Oh, that's not quite lethal. That's not quite lethal, unfortunately. We're pretty close, though. I'm pretty sure they can't cast any spells now. The one tricky question, though, is if we use our Fire Blast. Thespian Sage becomes a forest? Yeah, okay, sure. The one tricky question now is if we use the Fire Blast or not. Because, I guess it doesn't matter, right? Like, we're worried about a 20/20 indestructible creature. If I can't cast any spells for this Ensnaring Bridge, I can never have 20 cards in my hand. It's not like that's going to make the difference. Tireless Tracker? Yeah, sure, that's not going to do it. I don't think I need to Fire Blast in response right here. I don't think that's what I do. I think I just wait to see what I draw. I think they're looking for an answer. I think that's what this is all about here. So like I can just draw a bolt or something. Now, however, they're tapped out, and no, that's fine. They played a land for turn, right? Yeah, they played a land for turn, so I'm not worried. I don't want to draw something like, I don't know, any of my 2-mana spells and not be able to cast it next turn if they have an answer to this. But I think I'm likely just to untap and get... Yeah, okay, that's also kind of lame. But... I'm gonna just, yeah. I think we made it. I think we got it. I think we're in the 2-0 bracket. Bam! Nice. Okay, I don't know what I was playing around. I looked over the list, but I just thought, you know what? I'm not worried. We're okay. I wonder if the Ensnaring Bridge was good there. I think it definitely made them have to look for an answer. I don't know what the last 2 cards in their hand were, though. I think we just got lucky against a relatively loose matchup. This deck doesn't have a lot of life gain from what I saw on their sideboard, even though they're running black and green, right? It could be like Scavenging Ooze or something like that. They could have those. But yeah, awesome. Wow, okay. Well, we're 2-0. We're just going to keep riding this train. But this has been Andrew. Day 2 Dryden. Please make sure to put in the comments section below if you have any thoughts on the games. It really helps if you put time stamps on them, or at least tell me what game and things we're talking about. But yeah, so here... Let's go on to round 3. Let's ride this out. Okay, here we go again. And for the 3rd game in a row, we are on the draw, which is very frustrating, but this hand is fantastic. Swift Spear into Eidolon, a couple of removal spells. So anything mid-range would be great. Swamp Pass. Okay, hopefully that's a mid-range thing, because honestly... I'm thinking it could be Reanimator, but that's what I always think. I'm always worried about it being Reanimator, so that always frightens me. But no... Okay, I was going to think maybe I like... Oh, okay, no, Grixis. Oh, okay, ugh. Okay, so it's probably like Show and Tell or... Yeah, or Storm. Yeah, so we really needed to be on the... play, and we needed to be able to put this Eidolon into play. That's what needed to have happened. So they... Oh, okay, no, it is... Okay, I guess it's Grixis Reanimator? Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's a thing. 1, 2, 3... 4, 5. 5 spells, so they would have been, they'd be down to 9. They actually wouldn't even be dead. Oh, right, because it's not Storm, it's Reanimator. Draw 7. And then how do they kill me now? Oh, no, it is, oh, okay, no. What? Is this like a combination? I'm not familiar with this. This looks like Reanimator, but it also looks like Storm. Is it both? This is interesting. Okay, I'm interested now. So, yeah, they've probably found a 12, okay. Yeah. Okay, so no, the Eidolon on turn 1 would have, or on turn 2 would have definitely made all the difference in this game. Yeah, that's how that goes. So I still don't see a win condition here. But, I mean, they're going to draw so many cards, I guess they only need one. In their entire library. Yeah, lots of mana. Just gonna hard cast Emrakul, get an extra turn. Thoughtseize. Sure. If you're not gonna win, yeah, I would say take the Eidolon, I guess, but kind of was under the impression you were gonna win this turn. Tendrils, there we go. Okay, yeah. Bam. Okay, yeah, you win. Good games. That's Legacy for you. If anyone wanted a good example of what Legacy is, with Burn, it's Mountain, Swift Spear, Attack. Oh. Yeah, that's how that goes. I thought I pressed F6. Yeah, bam. Okay, begin sideboarding. So, we want ley lines. We want Fairy Macabre. I guess we want Vortex. Do we want Bridge? No, we don't want Bridge. That's over sideboarding. Bridge is there for like the last game, like Dark Depths and Show and Tell. They do have some blue cards, right? There was a Brainstorm or two in there, but we don't want Pyroblast. Pretty sure we don't want Price of Progress. We definitely want Eidolon. Flame Rift is pretty good. Well, it's good at like killing us both very quickly. But as you see, it doesn't matter what our life total is. When they win, they're just gonna win, right? That's just how that goes. So maybe this Vortex is over sideboarding. Maybe I don't want that. Gotta take 2 cards out, huh? Well, I definitely want to be fast if I can be. And definitely want this. Maybe this is slow. Take out 1 Flame Rift and 1... Take out 2 Flame Rifts. No, it's... Yeah, okay, I'll take out 2 Flame Rifts. Play first, yes. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to mulligan any hand that isn't really good, that doesn't have a ley line in it. This hand is good and has a ley line in it. So we are absolutely keeping. Abso-freaking-lutely. That being said, they can still probably just... they might expect Graveyard Hate, and they're going to have... it's a card that I can't think of the name. Like Empty the Warrens, they might have that as a backup win condition. That's certainly possible. However, this ley line, if they don't have an answer for it, is going to make them have to probably go for the Empty the Warrens play. That's unfortunate. Well, what are you going to do? Yep. Still pretty good. I got 9 damage in my hand right now. Oh! You know what the frustrating part is? We might have won this game anyway. But I really would have liked to have that bit of luck in a game I needed it more. But yeah, I mean you can't plan that. Okay. So Brainstorm. If you don't know what Brainstorm does from playing Modern, you get to take what is it? Yeah, you draw 3 cards, then you get to put 2 back, It combos with the fetch lands, though, because you put 2 cards you don't want back, and then you shuffle them away. So you really are choosing quite a few of your cards to look at. And it turns out the Price of Progress would have been pretty good in this matchup. With the double Underground Sea. Nice. Okay, they don't have an answer to Eidolon, and they know we've got these in our hand. Boom! Boom! Love it! Okay, so... maybe the prices... I don't know. Ugh. No, they were looking for an answer. That's the thing. So that's why they had to fetch out those Underground Seas. But they do have the Underground Seas. Here, you know what? Again, I'm not a... so this is what? Ad nauseum? Tendrils? Yeah, I don't see Grizzlebrands in the normal Ad nauseum Tendrils list. So maybe this is something else. Is it just Reanimator with a... It's not that. This is like a weird hybrid list. I don't know what to call this. So I don't know what they're... I don't know what exactly I should be putting against them, but we definitely want the Graveyard Hate, obviously. The only thing I'm really debating between is, again, the Flame Rifts versus maybe the Price of Progress. Price of Progress is instant speed. I guess that's nice. Flame Rift is always 4 damage. Price of Progress is like hopefully... Yeah, no, because like they're going to probably kill us like with like Lion's Eye Diamond, things like that, so... Even having the 2 lands is probably best case scenario, which is like the floor of and the ceiling of this. So I'm going to leave it the way it. I'm going to leave it the way it is, but that could be a mistake. So again, same idea. I want to see Graveyard Hate or a really good hand. See, this has Graveyard Hate, but I can't cast a single spell here. So like I don't think I can keep this. Right? Like against like Manaless Dredge, this just wins. I don't think this just wins against this deck. I could be wrong. They went down to 5. I could have gone to 5. I could have gone to 5. No, bottom. So now we really don't want to draw those ley lines. That would obviously be quite bad. But we'll see what we're up against. This matchup's pretty rough. Maybe I should have gone to 5. Put in the comment section now, before you see how this matchup goes, if you think I should have gone to 5. We'll never know. That's a parallel universe that happened in. But, I mean, this hand is fairly fast. We also could draw like a Fairy Macabre or something like that. That would also be pretty good. They're really tanking on this Ponder here. Man, if that first hand had even 1 mountain in it, I would have kept that for sure. Absolutely, I would have kept that. So they chose not to shuffle. Ugh. Oh, that's deadly. It's not great. Okay, Burn doing what Burn does. Possibly just dying on turn 2 to busted combos. Okay. Okay. Glad I put that other mountain at the bottom now. Yeah, we got to get this out of our hand. We have an avenue to victory. Oh no. Okay, great. So I'm gonna guess Iona is what's gonna go in there, and then we're just gonna be toast. Again, I don't know if this is Reanimator or Storm. It's kind of both. Interesting. I'm not happy to see this at all, but Oh, that's also maybe why they didn't shuffle, because they knew they were going to do this, or they had an Entomb on the top of their library. I would rather see a Griselbrand than an Iona. Iona means we're just done. Griselbrand, I guess hypothetically, they could fizzle. Hypothetically. Interesting. Okay. I really wish this was a lightning bolt. I could hypothetically kill a Griselbrand. Yeah, I can't reliably do this. Okay. Again, if we were on the play, this would have been good enough, because this would have been our turn 4. And I could double Fire Blast. Give me one more turn. Come on. Come on. Give me one more turn. I know that's a big ask. I'm well aware how big of an ask that is. Come on. This is either the I'm double checking my math, or I'm tanking and I'm about to hit the concede button. No, they haven't looked at our hand. For all they know, we have 3 mountains, so they wouldn't concede. That probably means it's the double checking the math count. We don't want to see that Lotus Petal go to the graveyard. Come on, just pass. Come on, just pass. Just pass. Play show and tell. I put a mountain out, and then I could double Fire Blast you. No! Oh! Oh! Oh, man. Oh, man. What just happened? Oh, they played a volcanic island. That tapped awfully fast. What does this do? Sack Magus, shuffle your library, exile top X, where X is 1 plus the number of spells cast this turn. Oh god. Okay. Well, that's not good. Unless they just pass. Which they do. So the last card in their hand has to be like a Force of Will. Let's see how it goes. What? Put the cards into your grave. What? What is happening? Oh, because I'm putting them there simultaneously? That's weird. I've never seen that. Did we get it? Did we manage to pull this off? Yes! Yes! Boom! Woo! All right, 3-0 with Legacy Burn. This is not what I was expecting to happen. I mean, I thought we'd win a couple of games, but to start off 3-0, okay, wow, here we go. Well, that, and again, like the price of progress would have been okay there. Wow, nice. Okay, well. Hey, we're making Burn great again. You can win these matchups, I guess. In my experience, they're pretty tough, but hey, we're making it work. We're 3-0, and I'll see you in round 4. All right, here we are in round 4 of our Legacy League. For the first time all league, we are on the play to start game 1. Opponent says, hi, good luck, which means they're a good person and we're going to lose to them. You too, buddy. This hand's obviously mulligan, but whatever. This hand is not great, but keepable. And better than going to 6. I'd like to see, you know, an Eidolon or a Goblin Guide or something on top, but this is acceptable. I could hold up a Bolt, but I think I'm just going to suspend this Rift Bolt because everything... opponent goes Moon, like I guess Blood Moon, exclamation point, question mark, and they go, oh, burn. So oh, okay, and so I'm gonna guess no mana dredge, exclamation point, question mark, throw it right back at him. Yep, that's what that is. Okay, so this thing's... So what they did, they wanted... And of course, the one match where we wanted to go second, we ended up winning the play. So... opponent goes, no, not necessarily, but probably no mana dredge. Manaless dredge. Okay, so this thing's... So they wanted to go... second, draw a card, discard to hand size. So basically so what this does is it fuels their hand, right? So the second ability here, discard 3 cards, return this from your graveyard to your hand. So what this is going to let them do at any point, even right now, is just dump. I guess they can do it twice, right? They can just dump 6 cards into their graveyard from their hand because of this. And this Price of Progress looks real bad too. Manaless Dredge, well... Manaless means no mana. Basic or non-basic. So that's not very good. Gee whiz. Well, on the bright side... those Leyline of the Voids are going to be pretty insane. So this is... Okay, so this is one of those busted combo decks that we can possibly maybe race. Although this Price of Progress and 2 more lands are... Oh, I didn't even notice this! Okay, well thank goodness I have this. So they also have this card. If you don't know what this does, this is a Reanimator card normally. So... they can reveal this from their opening hand, and if they do, whenever you play the first spell of the game, counter it unless you pay 1. I didn't actually even notice they had this, so I managed to luck my way into starting with a Rift Bolt, because otherwise it would have got countered, because I would have cast a Lightning Bolt last turn or something, and it would have got countered because I wouldn't have had the mana to pay the tax on it. So, I mean, I guess that's a small victory, but this is not ideal. This is not what we want to see happen. Okay, so we know this. They have this in their hand. I might as well leave it open, but yeah. So I don't know how this works. I don't know if they draw first or what, but they're basically just gonna dump a bunch of stuff in here. Okay, so they dumped their Chancellor. They're dumping these Bridge from Belows. Stinkweed Imp, obviously. If you play Modern, you know what that one does. So, yeah, this is going to get pretty busted. What's happening here? I don't know what that was. I don't know if that was their Dredge or their hand or what, but now this is like, okay, so what's going on here? So... they didn't cast Therapy. What's this? Okay, Stinkweed Imp, we know that. Bridge from Below, right? Whenever something dies. Yeah, whenever one creature there dies, they get a zombie. This Nether Shadow. 3 or more creatures above it. I guess this is how you count above it. So they've got Nether Shadow, then they've got Icarid. Oh my goodness. And then another Phantasmagorium, another Icarid. And a Street Wraith, and Icarid does what again? At the beginning of your upkeep, if it's in your graveyard, you may exile. Okay, so this is... So next turn, this is going to come back and then they're going to sacrifice it along with probably the other one, and then they're going to get a bunch of bridge from below stuff. I'm just apologizing to my opponent, letting him know, sorry, I am reading cards here. I'm not trying to go slowly. But yeah, so we need to win very quickly. And I don't think this is going to do it, right? We've got them at 11 right now. That's not going to do it. If this Price of Progress were a Fire Blast, maybe we'd be in better shape. But as it is right now, it's just a donut. So, right? See, we'd put them to, yeah. So they would have to kill us next turn if this were, or we could possibly just draw a bolt and win, which is nice in a way. But you know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? The one nice thing about this matchup is that we can pretty much just aggressively mulligan into right. See, so the Nether Shadow is going to trigger, and then it's gonna come back into play. Then the Icarids are going to come back into play. We're going to get smacked for like 7. Then they're all going to die. They're going to make 2/2 zombies. So yeah, this is not great. We can pretty much just aggressively mulligan into... Why is this temporary zone? I don't understand what this is. I guess this is the dredge ability from Stinkweed Imp. I guess. And again, I don't know what all these do. I know what Prized Amalgam does. I don't think it's going to trigger with these though, because this happened at the start of their turn before it was in there. Golgari Grave Troll. This thing again. What does this do though? It's a 1/1 for 2. It enters the battlefield. Shuffle the cards from your hand into your library. Then, okay, that's kind of neat, I guess. Yeah, so we can aggressively mulligan into the Leyline of the Void because this deck pretty much just folds to Leyline. We definitely want to take Eidolons out because, as you see, they're not casting any spells. It's all just like triggered abilities, and it's all just triggered abilities that do their stuff. So Eidolon like does nothing. We have like no way of getting rid of this. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna bolt them in response in case they name Lightning Bolt. So what they're doing is they're casting this with flashback. You can read what it says. They cast it, they choose a card, anything in my hand, I discard it, and then they can sacrifice a creature to do it a second time. So, you know, it's really good with things like Young Pyromancer. See what's in their hand. Even if you miss, you sack a token, get what you do want to get. So, yeah, if this Price of Progress were a Fire Blast, wait, how does this work? What did they choose? Doesn't say what they chose. That's weird. Okay, whatever. And now they're just casting it again to get zombies, right? They don't care about this. They really don't. But yeah. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of moving parts in this. I hope I described that relatively well because it's kind of crazy. But there's nothing we can do to win this game now. Again, if this were like a Fire Blast, we could put them to 3, draw a bolt and win. But there's no way we can deal 7 damage to them with 1 card, unfortunately. Yeah, okay. Go through the motions here. Yeah. Oh, that would have been neat. They've got 9 on. Well, whatever. Force them to play it out. force him to play it out. I'm here recording, so I might just quit if I hadn't been. But yeah. So Eidolons are bad. Price of Progress is bad. All those things are bad. Because they've got no, yeah, I mean, there's no targets. There's no way for it to trigger and deal damage. Well, that's going, oh no, they got Crippling Chill too. Oh my god. Of course they do. Oh, this card is so bonkers. Whatever, F6. Do your business. Crippling Chill. God. What's wrong with you, wizards? Keep printing these stupid spells you can cast for free. What's wrong with you? Oh my... Bleh. Alright. Okay, that's game. It's too bad. We had a chance. Sorta. Alright, but like I said, we can very aggressively sideboard into hate, because this is sort of... this is one of those glass cannon decks. So what? Yeah. So we don't want any of these. We don't want any of these. We need 3 more cards. Vortex is slow and bad. So what's got potential? So we want to look at maybe Bridge. Yeah, Vortex is probably bad. So 4 cards. So I'm thinking between Searing Blood, because it will have targets. Searing Blood or Ensnaring Bridge. Could even do a split. Yeah, I don't know. Go like this, I guess. Yeah. Do you want to play first? No! We don't want to play first. This hand is good, but I'm honestly gonna like try to mulligan into some hate here. Cause when can we win here? So we go Swift Spear attack, Mountain, say like Spike Bolt. So that's 1. That's 10 damage on turn 2. That's not... We have to win by turn 3. Like there's no way we can give them more than that. So it's 10 damage on turn 2. Then we go 4, 5. That's not... I'm gonna mulligan. This has some hate, but it's... I don't know how good this actually is. And the rest of the hand's pretty bad. I'm gonna mulligan one more time. Okay, this is actually the worst hand yet. This is the worst hand yet. I'm pretty embarrassed that I'm recording this. Yeah, that was embarrassing. So, again, I'm not a Legacy expert. I think that's pretty obvious. In retrospect, I probably should have kept the 6-card hand. But I don't know how good the hate was. There was one time I played a game. I can't believe I just did that. Oh, there was one time I played a game against Manaless Dredge with Eldrazi. I borrowed Rodney Top 8 Thompson's Eldrazi list, and he's like, just mulligan for a ley line. Just Just mulligan for one. Just find it, you'll win. They can't beat it. And I'm like, okay. So, yeah. That was a thing. Oh my god. I really thought I'd hit it. I really thought after that like fifth turn and then on that fifth hand, 5-card hand, that 4-card hand, I really thought I'd hit it. Didn't happen. Okay. Let's see what happens now. They can do this in response to my Fairy Macabre. So let's see if we can hit this. Let's see if we get anything juicy. Okay. I'm going to do it once. They're going to hold priority and they're going to do it again. So right now, we can hit... this is flashback, right? Yeah, this is flashback. Okay. So right now, what can I hit here? Why can't I make this bigger? I should be able to make this bigger. So, because I can exile, I can make them exile 2 cards. So there's Prized Amalgam, there's this Dredger. They've got a few Dredgers. Opponent's like, okay, what's going on, man? Come on. I was really hoping to just like get rid of 2 Bridge from Belows. So I need to get rid of what? Just the Dredgers, maybe? Yeah, okay. Golgari Grave Troll and Golgari Thug. Oh, and they did this in response. Wow, that's busted. Oh my god. Oh, busted. This deck is... Jeez. On the bright side, I don't think that 5-card hand would have been good enough. Because it had the Fairy Macabre and like a bunch of cards in it. And I don't think it would have beat this. So, I'm going to read the comments section, but I'm going to feel slightly vindicated in the fact that I tried to mulligan for that ley line. Because I think that 6-card hand and that 5-card hand would not have beat this. I think. But I could be wrong. Pretty sure. Can't be guaranteed. This all has haste? Or tap? Oh my god, this deck is just bananas. Yeah. Yep. That's Legacy for you. Gee whiz. What does this thing do? Oh, jeez. Joke's on you, buddy. Not giving you the satisfaction. Yeah, GG's. Well, it is what it is. That's Legacy. Again, I think I was justified in trying to get the ley line because of what the silliness that just happened there. Either way, we're still 3-1 in Legacy. We're still 3-1. We're going into round 5, and yeah, we've still got a chance to get some pretty good prizing. So, I'm gonna see you then. All right, here we go. Round 5, Legacy Competitive League. It's the only kind of leagues they have in Magic Online. Again, we're on the draw. The one round we didn't want to be. We didn't want to choose the play. We, of course, were. This hand, however, is pretty good. We've got an Eidolon. We've got turn 1 plays. This Price of Progress might be really good. All the decks that Price of Progress is good against, we haven't really come across. Oh, no, what is this? Like Merfolk? Be Merfolk. No, Ponder. Okay. So this could be Delver or Control. Probably Grixis Delver or Grixis Control. Not necessarily, though. Could be a lot of things. But that's what I'm thinking. Basic Island into... Could be Miracles as well, actually. Sorry, could be that too. I don't know. Could be a bunch of stuff. I'm going to stop guessing now because I've got like 3 decks already that I've guessed. So they chose not to shuffle his or her library. So I guess we'll suspend this. The jig's up. They know what we're doing. They know what's happening over here. But this sort of plays around days a little bit. Not really. It doesn't. It's just the slowest thing in our hand. By a long while. Come on. There you go. I was like, get a non-basic. Preordain. Okay. So scry 2, then draw. Much, much better than Serum Visions, which is the opposite. Put a card on the bottom and a card on top. Drew the card on top. Because that's how that works. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. So still not sure exactly what this is. Really want to stop drawing lands. Oh, do I just slam this Eidolon? Seems loose. Yeah, I'm just going to slam this Eidolon. That might be a mistake. That might be a bit brash. This doesn't play around force. But I mean, you can't play around force. This doesn't play around days, though. Yeah. I really want this to resolve. And then even if it does, though, it might just eat a bolt. Nope, force. Okay. Pitching Brainstorm. Okay, well, we couldn't play around force anyway, so that's fine. Lotus Petal, yeah. Oh, this is like show and tell. That's what this is. There's sneak and show. It's the other half of the show and tell. That's weird they don't just put it out. Maybe they're looking to draw it. Well, that's pretty good, at least. So everything's an instant. I'll 100% try and do this. Really? Really? Okay. What are the chances? So you're telling me there's a chance? Holy crap. So I can just win at instant speed here, possibly? Hold on, what does everything cost? 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're gonna suspend this. Are we really? Are they just looking for a combo piece and can't find it? Is that really what's happening? Sure. One card on bottom, one card on top. Okay. Emrakul? Emrakul. Oh man, are we gonna get it? They've got to have something. They have to. They have to. Ah, damn it. Damn it. Hey, you know what? Oh no, we can't. I was going to say, we could just draw a bolt and win, but we're going to have to get rid of all our mount. That's something I should have kept in mind, actually. Oh, so oh, thanks, Magic Online. This is great. Loving this experience. This is just amazing. There we go. Need a freaking pair of tweezers to pick the pick the mountains out there. Yeah, okay, and then this gets all shuffled in. Oh, I forgot about the Rift Bolt! Oh, no. Oh, did we get it? Yes! I forgot about the Rift Bolt. Boom! Wow! Okay, we are not supposed to win that matchup. We are not supposed to win that matchup. Holy Moses. Okay. Wow. Whew. Well, okay. Pyroblast, we want those. Ensnaring Ridge, we want those. What do we not want? Price was really good there. What do we not want? I was going to say not Rift Bolt, but oof, came through there. We definitely want Bridge, and we definitely want... yeah, so... We definitely want Bridge. That's the big thing. Oh, and Pyroblast. Yeah, we definitely want those. Okay. So what do we not want? Fire. We need to be able to race. They're not going to gain life, and this is expensive. It's good against control. It's not so good against this. This is like the control colors, but it's combo. What else? I could cut a couple of... I like Flame Rifts, though. It ends the game quickly. Okay, we want to race and win, but be able to have disruptions. Okay, I'll cut one Flame Rift at least because of this bridge. No, okay, we'll just cut the Flame Rifts. I don't love that, but we actually have interaction. Normally I don't always have this much interaction. We'll cut a Chain Lightning. No. I'll cut a Rift Bolt. Let's go like that. Wow, that was awesome. Okay. Oh, and this is we don't have any interaction, which is really rough. Because, again, they could just, like, win on turn 2. But this hand is very fast. This hand does what Burn does. So I think I just need to keep it. I don't know if I want to mulligan into some hate here or not. I don't think I do. I think we're... Like, this hand forces them to do stuff. We got really lucky in that last game, though. Just not drawing a... oh, Pyroclasm. Nice, okay. Just not drawing a win condition for just enough turns. That was awesome. Oh my god, that was so good. I totally forgot about that Rift Bolt. Come on, let's go 4-1. I would have been happy with a 2-3. Let's go 4-1 and really make this look good. That'd be awesome. That would be pretty sweet. What are you debating here? Come on, yeah, take the damage. We've already done damage. Come on. I shouldn't say that. I think things through a lot too. They might be just thinking through their turn and they already know what they're gonna do. And they could be like thinking about like, do I brainstorm? Like, do I want to draw this Pyroclasm? Like, what's the deal here? If they just drop a Pyroclasm here, that's okay. Because I'm gonna, yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna drop my Eidolon. That's a good draw too. And next turn, we are set up to deal a lot of damage. Let's say we don't just lose here, which could very easily happen. Oh, that's frustrating. So what do? We go, this is 9 damage here. Oh, it's potentially more. This is 14 damage. Oh, wow. That's a lot of damage. If this attack gets in, I like our odds. Okay. Well, if we get to untap, we win. It's unfortunate our Eidolon had to die to a Pyroclasm, but what are you gonna do? Sometimes you can't have it all. We're really close here. Oh, I think this is gonna be it, yeah. They go sneak attack or showing whatever, yeah. Yeah. Wait, that's it? Oh, sneak attack costs 4. I thought it cost 3. Oh. I think we might have it. I think we might have it. Come on. Are we going to force this? Pitching show and tell? Okay. That's fine. So they can now... So they can't force again. They only have 1 card in hand. And they can't daze because I've got mana. Yes! Woo! Yeah! 4-1 in Legacy. Bam! Nice. Wow. Awesome. Oh, that feels good. Oh, I can't believe that Rift Bolt. That was so good. Awesome. So, there you go. Maybe Burn has legs. We even managed to beat a couple matchups I did not think we were going to beat. Our opponents got a little bit unlucky, and we capitalized. Because that's what Burn does. It's redundant. A Force of Will isn't going to do it because, yeah, a Force of Will is not going to do it because we don't just rely on one big spell. It's a bunch of burn spells coming, but we also can't defend against one big spell like a Reanimator or something crazy like Dredge there. Like we just can't interact with that. So, awesome. That feels good. That feels good. We got play points. We got a qualifier. We got a couple treasure chests here. Oh, that's awesome. Merry Christmas to me. Whew. All right. Well, let's look at that list again. So yeah, let's look at that list again here. So yeah, this was our list. I liked it overall. I thought it was pretty good, right? We did really well. We didn't really see Sulfuric Vortex. We didn't really see Searing Blood. Leyline helped us win a game against that Reanimator ad nauseum, or that Reanimator Storm thing. We needed to see it against... Excuse me. We needed to see it against Dredge. So maybe 4 Leylines, 1 Fairy Macabre is better. I wanted to have a split. To be honest, but maybe just 4 Leylines a better option, and then that would have made that 6-card hand just outstanding. I liked Ensnaring Bridge. Again, the one matchup we used it in. I think it's, again, it would have been good against Show and Tell there if they had gone for Show and Tell, because Show and Tell, you can put, like, you put a permanent onto the battlefield. It's not any permanent. They don't have planeswalkers and stuff on there, obviously, but I think it's artifact, enchantment, creature, or land. And so they put out an Emrakul, and simultaneously you put out an Ensnaring Bridge, and their Emrakul can't attack, right? So that's kind of the idea there. Kind of hard to fight through to fight against Sneak Attack. But by then, hopefully, you've been able to hit your land drops and you get the bridge out already. But we've got 2 good answers to Show and Tell in the Ensnaring Bridge and the Pyroblast. So, yeah, overall, though, I thought the list went... I thought it went well. We won, like, 2 more games than I thought we might. I was really... If we had gone, like, 1 and 4, I would have been pretty disappointed. But even at 2 and 3, like, you know, you get the bad matchups sometimes. So, I hope everyone enjoyed the Legacy content. You know what? That went really well. I guess I'll do it again on December 26th on Boxing Day. Look for another league. Why not, right? I've got time. It's holiday break, and I'm unemployed at the moment. So we'll open up a couple of treasure chests here. I'll open up at least, we'll say 2. I'll open up 2. See what we get. See if it's a Merry Dryden Christmas. Mentor of the Meek. I think that's like nothing, unfortunately. And then I don't think Dark Bargain's anything either. MTGO Traders. And then, yeah, Mutiny is obviously nothing. That's like a common from, I think, Rivals of Ixalan. Mentor of the Meek. That's the Innistrad version. Yeah, 2 cents. And yeah, Dark Bargain, I think, is a common as well. I should have had this ready to go already. Sorry. Okay, Dark Bargain. Yeah, no, that's nothing. Nothing! Well, let's try again. Let's roll the dice. One more time. Survey says... Deathbringer Regent. Well, that's probably really bad. Pretty sure that's a bunch of baloney. Yep. And then Headstrong Brew. Okay, and then a bunch of commons. You know what? It's Christmas. One more. One more spin. What do we get? Drum roll. That looks like a bunch of crap again. Oh, well. Keru Lichlord, yeah. From Khans Tarkir. I remember that card. Really good and limited. Really fun. I miss Khans Tarkir. Siren. Yeah, it's an uncommon. There's no way it's worth anything. Yeah, alright. And then this Blood Tallow Candle's crap, too. Oh, well. Too bad. I'm not opening up anymore. I need to pay for the next Legacy League. So, here we go. That was our league. Hope you enjoyed it. Merry Christmas to everyone if you celebrate Christmas. If you don't, happy whatever you celebrate. If you don't celebrate anything, hope you don't get frostbite. Hope you don't get frostburn. But this has been Andrew, Day 2 Dryden, very happily recording Legacy for you, and I will see you next time.